Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be recapping the USA's win in the Gold Cup as well as the tournament in full and the win in Mexico in general. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video.
The cross comes in towards Pulisic, the chest control, he has support on his right foot. Christian Pulisic, absolutely brilliant by the...
Alright guys, so the game just wrapped up about 5 minutes ago. I'm actually supposed to be dog watching, but I came over to my house real quick so I could record with this backdrop. Huge win for the USA. I think it's really crazy. You know, from the start, I had a lot of doubts in my preview video. I didn't even have USA making it to the final of the tournament. Not only did we make it to the final of the tournament, but we also won the tournament with not the best roster. We had only 3 guys who played in our Nations League tournament against Mexico in that final, where we also beat Mexico. And I believe only one of those guys started against Mexico, whereas Mexico had about 11 of their starters from the Nations League. They had much more closer to an A team, maybe more of an A- team, whereas we definitely have maybe C or B team, depending how you look at it. It's a huge win. A lot of these guys have experience. I'm probably going to go on a tangent. I might cut a lot of stuff off the video. But yeah, we brought a very young side to this tournament. Like our win to Qatar, I believe our average caps was at 13, which is another word for appearances for your national team, whereas Qatar was something like 60 or 70. Overall, this game was very good. I think Matt Turner, I don't know if it's announced yet. By the time this video goes out, it'll probably be announced. I think he's probably the player of this tournament. Been cracked the whole game. Our defense really great in this last final against Mexico. They had a lot of corners, a lot of set pieces, which I'll get onto the whole reffing situation in a minute. But yeah, I believe they had ended up with 10 or 11 corners. They never really looked dangerous. Miles Robinson, Sands, those guys really took care of those corners, heading everything out. Nothing really ever scary came out of the air for Mexico. On the ground, they did look a little more dangerous, having a couple shots. It was really a game of quantity or quality. Like Mexico had a lot more shots, I would say, whereas we had a lot more quality opportunities, especially with Areola. Had a few where he definitely could have scored. We put that in the past. We did win the game. Miles Robinson with that header at the end. Like I was saying, like we were just winning everything in the air all game. We got that free kick and Miles Robinson was able to put it away. So, I mean, great from him. That ref, I do want to say he stopped the rhythm of the game a lot. I believe there was over 50 fouls in the whole game, which is ridiculous. It seemed like every time we got the ball, he had to blow his whistle for something. I was not a huge fan of that. It really disrupted the rhythm of the game. There's a lot of times where just like maybe it was a foul, but I would say at least maybe 20% of the time it wasn't, right? So even if you have those 20% of the times where we can get those quick counters, like that does a lot, especially when there's 50 fouls in the whole game. In this day and age with VAR, you can just go back and check that, you know, like let them have the break. If you need to go back and it was a foul, it was a foul. But I think they needed to let them play. There was even times when we got fouled and the ref blowed his whistle immediately, when there was definitely times we could have played on and used that advantage. But we put that in the past. Miles Robinson got that goal, and I believe around the 118th minute wins the game. We just kick everything out. Berhalter getting a lot of hate this tournament, or at least before this tournament. I think he showed he can win with whatever lineup he puts out. We may not like it, but he gets the job done with those guys. Even if sometimes those guys don't perform, he does get those results, and I think he makes the right subs at right times. He really mixed in experience and youth when the youth needed to get that experience. Overall, really good tournament. Reflecting on the group stage, it was a really 1-0 win, really got us through the whole tournament. So we faced Haiti. Sam Vines was able to get his first goal in that USMNT jersey, which is huge for him and just the young guys in general. So we beat Haiti 1-0. Very impressive game. I know that lineup was not what we wanted to see, but it was clear what Berhalter wanted to do, just bring experience to this first game and kind of show the youngins what the whole Gold Cup is about. Then that second game, we played Martinique. He put Buzio, DK, got a lot more of these young guys in. We beat them 6-1, which is what you should expect against a small side like that. Then we faced Canada, who was a huge question mark. You know, they had Alphonso Davies, or at least we thought Alphonso Davies was to be fit. He could have carried that Canada side, especially with some of these teams like USA and Mexico not bringing all of their best players. We definitely thought Canada was going to be able to make a good run, which they did. They ended up losing in a late goal 2-1 against Mexico in that semifinal. But yeah, we were able to beat Canada, who didn't have Alphonso Davies. So I mean, you can only beat what's against you. And then we faced Jamaica in the first round of the knockout stage, and we get the job done against Jamaica with a late goal. Then we play Qatar, we beat Qatar 1-0 with the late goal, and then finally we beat Mexico. I think this has really set the stage. If USA wasn't already at least set with Mexico on fans seeing which team is better, I think this game shows more than the Nations League final did, in my opinion. I think it shows, because with our young roster, we didn't have the talent Mexico did. In the Nations League, it was all, well, we have the talent, but Mexico, they just know how to play together, they gel, and that was a huge thing. Whereas in this tournament, it was, well, Mexico has the talent, USA inexperienced, we really have nothing going for us, so how did we win it, you know? It shows a lot more, I think, this Gold Cup final did than the Nations League final. Even though this Gold Cup final doesn't really go towards anything, I think it's a big step in showing that USA is going to be a powerhouse in Concacaf, and I think we might run the Concacaf for years to come. And then if I can just kind of talk about some individual player, like what we saw, what we didn't see, I want to start off with Matt Turner. Great tournament, only 1 goal allowed this whole tournament against teams like Canada, Mexico, Jamaica, and Qatar. Huge tournament for him. He should be the player of the tournament. Like I said, by the time I put this video out, it will be released, but as I'm making this video, I haven't seen who that guy is. Hoppy showed he's a workhorse, as well as Miles Robinson, who got that goal against Mexico. He might be that guy against Brooks, or next to Brooks, sorry, in World Cup qualifying. He might prove that he's our second center back, and he might be in World Cup 2022 as a starter. He might get a bigger move to Europe. He's setting his name in stone for the USMNT now for years to come. He's definitely going to be a part of that squad. Shaq Moore, huge step up when Reggie Cannon gets hurt. That's huge that he was able to fill those boots and so far just surpass expectations for himself. Vines, Sands, the whole defense just really showed out in this tournament. There was never really any worries. They didn't allow easy shots for Turner to really have to make a name for himself. However, when it was tested, Turner showed what he could do. Acosta got a lot of hate going into this tournament. I think he kind of showed what he's capable of in these last couple games. He really brought out his experience, was able to make those interceptions and just get back and defend, kind of like a little Conte or Tyler Adams. Yeah, I mean, he may not be that good, but for the USMNT, he really got the job done. Legit, about even. I know a lot of the fans, he's still kind of split on whether he should be in the squad or not. Bucio underperforming a little bit, but I mean, it's great that he got that experience. Williamson, I really like that he started in the final. Actually, in our little group chat, I've started an Instagram. I'll go ahead and plug my Instagram, and if you're interested in being in that group chat, just follow my Instagram and let me know. But Williamson, I had him starting in this Gold Cup final. I thought he's been excellent this whole tournament. Guys like Christian Roldan, you got those assists, always looking to make the ball go forward, just like Williamson. Hoppy, like I said, very creative down that wing. Sometimes does a little too much. I don't know if he was honestly the greatest player this tournament, but he was just showing that he really likes to go out. Zardes showing that he's probably still the striker we need in this roster. I know a lot of guys wanted to rely on Daryl DK, but if we're being honest, Daryl DK did not have the greatest tournament and might have set back his move to Europe again. I know we want to see him go to a top 5 league, if not just go back to the championship, which I think he could well be capable of. He just didn't really show it in this tournament. And then we have guys like Paul Arriola, who got injured in that first game, came back, he was never really the same. In this final, I know a lot of guys are going to be critiquing the way he finishes. I'm one of them. He definitely should have had a goal, if not make something out of those opportunities, just get them on target instead of just hitting those posts when you have time against a one-on-one in the goalie. But it gave Giochini, he stepped up this tournament. He looked great. We now know that Lewis probably shouldn't be a part of this team. I think Greg Berhalter understood that after his game he played. It just really showed these guys with experience can go and lead a team like this, who even those guys with experience maybe played 2 or 3 Gold Cups and never been a part of the huge picture that is the USMNT. But we have some of these young guys who never even been called into camp and were able to come and make a final and then lift the trophy. It's just huge for the history of the USMNT and what we provide in the future. Like I said, it's really going to set our place in CONCACAF, and not just CONCACAF. I think we're now going to be a world stage team that people fear, like even the teams in Europe. I think they're going to start to see what we're capable of when we can bring a B or C team into a Concacaf tournament like this, when Mexico has a lot of their good players like Hector Herrera, who plays for Atletico Madrid, who just won in Spain. Says a lot about the USA and what we're capable of. We have a great future, and I'm really looking forward to our World Cup runs in 2022, as well as World Cup qualifying coming up soon. When 2026 and we have that World Cup on home turf, we're going to set a standard, and we're going to be a team that teams fear, like the big teams in France and England. I think they're going to be scared to play us, honestly. We have a lot of guys coming in who need jobs. They're looking to crack that first team or just to get called into the next camp. These starters now, after seeing this Gold Cup, they're going to be pushed. Competition, always a great thing. It just pushes people. A lot of the starters who may think that they had their job, they're going to be questioning, are they that guy anymore? And they're going to need to push themselves a lot more this season. It shows great for the USA. Huge win over Mexico. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Like I said, couldn't be more excited for what the future is of this USMNT. I don't really have a question of the day, just kind of excitement going on right now. I haven't had time to think of a question, but I'm Sauce, and this has been Sauce's Scoop USMNT.